Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. This is podcast number 326. It is so good to be here, everybody. For those of you who are live, we're actually recording this is this the earliest time that we've recorded the podcast ever? I think it is.
I think so. And
daytime.
We have more people here than normal. So.
Yeah, I think in the middle of the day, no one's sleeping.
No one's working.
No one's working. It's also COVID, so it's like a perfect storm. I just keep watching Spicy. For those of you, well, no one can see this, but Spicy has this screensaver of this girl eternally falling.
I really
in a
like
mirror.
it.
While it's so captivating to watch. I keep
you want me to
watching
turn
it.
that off?
No,
Sorry.
you're good.
It's
You're
very
good.
soothing.
Yeah,
it's like a lava lamp.
yeah, it really is like a lava lamp. Guys, it's been a big week. We had Gamescom this week. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But as always, before we get into that, I'm joined by the bros, the XoneBros. First, it's Mr. McSpicy.
Hello.
Next is Jordan the Man.
Hello.
And last but not least, I am X1. Welcome, guys. Before we jump into everything, it is almost the end of the month. Our game club game of the month is Hellblade 2. So there's a couple days left. It's only a 5 to 8 hour game. So if you've not had a chance to jump into it, make sure you go over and jump into it. I started it again for my second playthrough last night. I'm planning on beating that bad boy puppy again before the end of the weekend.
Wait, what game are you talking about?
Hellblade 2.
Oh,
Or no, Hellblade
I
1.
totally spaced
Or
out.
sorry, yeah, Hellblade 1. Why do I say Hellblade 2?
I totally spaced
Because I
out.
have Hellblade 2 written down right there. Sorry, it's Hellblade 1. I'm a moron.
That's okay. I mean,
Moron.
I've said this before. Like morons are very likable.
This is true. That's true. Morons are likable people. They are not harmful or threatening.
Yeah, they're just fun. Just fun to hang around. So.
I do want to. We had a lot of games drop this week. One of the games, this actually dropped at the end of last week, but I promised you a review, is Golf Club. For the game formerly known as Golf Club, actually, is PGA 2K21. They were bought out and now retain the PGA 2K21 title. And Golf Club, what Golf Club has done since it's come out, it really took over the Tiger Woods game, because Tiger Woods from EA was just in shambles there at the end. The next year we got Golf Club the first time around, and it was good. And each year they've improved, and so far, from what I've experienced from 2K21, it seems to be the case as well. It is just absolutely improved. It manages to translate, and it always has. This has been true of all the golf clubs, and it's just doubled down this year even. It manages to translate the frustration of real-life golf and the reward of real-life golf, right? So, like, you'll just be on a roll, and then you'll just shank one. And it just does it so well. It does it without... Tiger Woods got away from itself because it got to feel like super arcadey towards the end. Like, you had stuff that like could automatically sink your putt for you and power ups and stuff like that. This just, it keeps it simple, but it keeps it good as a result.
What was the game that had the battleship crash into the beach?
That was one of the Tiger Woods one.
That was the Tiger Woods one, yeah.
When they first introduced the Frostbite engine.
Yeah, I mean, talk about sticking with the roots of golf, right?
Yeah,
But
and then Golf Club came out and they didn't have the PGA license, and I think it took them 2 iterations. You could correct me if I'm wrong. It took them 2 iterations to get the PGA license, and that was a big deal when they got it. Then Take-Two purchased them, and now we've got 2K21. It's really good. I like the controls that you have, the PGA tours that you have. Multiplayer in this game is super fun. I did multiplayer every night this week. Well, not every night, but most nights this week. And there's 2 ways. You can play like traditional, where I watch, like, let's say we're all playing. We all take turns watching each other. And then there's simultaneous play, where we play at the same. Simultaneously play makes it so fast, right? But it's fun. If you're into golf, if you like golf, 2K21 is the game for you. If you've ever played a golf club before and you enjoyed it, then this is the game for you. And we do have a season. We're running through a season right now. Golf Club Society, the XoneBros Golf Club Society, is official. We're running one event this weekend while everybody gets in, and then we're going to start the official season after this event this weekend. But just search XoneBros. It is open. There is 0 fees to join. I believe the first event does have a little bit of a fee because there's a prize. There's a purse with it as well. So. But come join us. Highly recommend it, dude. I think for one of our couch casts, I think we should golf together.
that would be awesome. I love golf.
A couch cast golf session.
I love, like, I started my life on Mario Golf.
Oh yeah.
On the old NES, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was the NES, right? And I think something has to be said just about how rare it is to see an EA sports game be
Crash and
overthrown.
burn. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were many. It was a perfect storm of all these things happening for that game to be Tiger Woods Golf to be overthrown. But to have an independent developer come and just change the game,
Yeah.
or change it back.
Well, to see an opportunity, yeah, and what they did so well is they simplified it. They stripped away all of the extra stuff because the last Tiger Woods was actually Rory McIlroy's golf a few years ago.
Sure, yeah.
And it just wasn't fun. It was so arcadey. It wasn't fun. And what HB Studios did is they just stripped all of the excess away, and it was just pure golf and pure fun.
It's just pure golf.
Pure golf. And so now, and when you look at it, in all reality, EA has had two big franchises kind of taken away from them that way, and now both owned by 2K. The NBA Live was huge growing up. 2K comes in and beats them, and then Tiger Woods was a giant franchise. And while 2K originally didn't do it, they now have the properties of the golf game that owns the golf's universe.
And I mean, they did this without like the PGA license. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
it's true.
And like think of like Madden, how important the NFL license is to it, right?
Oh yeah.
So if another football, I'm trying to like wrap my head around like Madden being overthrown.
Well, a lot have tried to do it, and it's just so hard because you've got so much money, you've got so much returning money in it. It would be like trying to do a baseball game right now against MLB The Show.
Yeah. Which also EA had at one point.
Which it would be so hard to do, and they did. And like you said, by this like smaller studio, not backed by a big production company or anything like that.
They did it.
Maybe they'll come out with another Blitz game that'll take over Madden.
Yeah, that would.
Blitz was like the Grand Theft Auto of football.
It was. It really was. Because I loved how you could be like, should I shoot him up to get him back in the game, or should I heal him for the next game? You know, because you could like roid him up.
Dude, so fun. That and then I would like to see like a good solid Base Wars game come back. Base Wars robot baseball.
So I've never ever been really into baseball.
Sure.
But recently, I don't know if it's because you guys are on my YouTube account watching baseball stuff.
Yeah.
I've been watching like I don't know, I think his name is John Boy Media or something like that. But he takes these like dramatic things that happen in baseball and does his own like play-by-play on them. And it is the funniest and most fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
He says what people are saying, because you never know when the camera's on the two guys arguing.
Yeah.
He re-says what they say, and it's fascinating. Baseball is actually quite an amazing game.
Dude,
if you don't know what's going on, you're bored out of your mind.
It's baseball playoff games is the most intense. It's so fun because it's intense situational drama. So it's not like basketball or even soccer to this to a limited event, but basketball is like instant flow, free flowing, always moving, something's always happening. Baseball is situational. So like man on first, it's tied, it's the top of the ninth, there's 2 outs. If he gets this strike, and it's like you're on the edge of your seat, and that's and playoff baseball, because every game matters, is like that. That's where it shines. The problem, baseball, I think, does itself a little bit of a disservice by having such a long season.
Sure. What is it, like
to getting new
160
people.
games?
It's the longest of all. It's just it's so long. But at the same time, they make so much money because of that. So
well, now, the players really, I mean, like if you take like a game like football, people like American football for everyone else, but people get injured all the time because it's such a high impact, high attack value game, right? Whereas baseball, there are injuries, but the injuries are because they're no longer in shape.
Yeah, or it's like a grind that does wear you down, but it's not in the same way. Impact is like a hockey or a football.
So you gotta. I'll show after the show. I'll pull up some stuff so you can see it. It's this guy that does breakdowns, and he did a breakdown of a pitcher running to the mound as full throttle, and he's like completely out of shape, and his throws are all jacked up and everyone, like the manager's like, "What the hell is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Like why'd you sprint? Because he's out of shape." It's fantastic. I actually am really enjoying like breakdown, like baseball broken down to where I can understand it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm glad. Wait till playoffs and watch. If you watch it,
the World
it's
Series.
intense, dude. It's cool. It's one of the funnest things. Particularly, have you ever been to a pro baseball game?
yeah,
Those are super fun.
Was it a Yankees game?
Oh, that's
I think
cool.
back when I was visiting New York.
Yeah, that's
so.
way cool. Reckham says the long season can be nice because if you have a big injury, it doesn't mean your entire season is done with no chance to recover. That is true. That is very true.
By the way, the game was at noon on a Wednesday.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
And I was the only. I'm there because I'm on vacation, but I felt like I was the only one there.
Yeah,
because it's right in the middle of the workday.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Well, when you have 160 games, you got to squeeze them in, or 100 and something.
Yeah. Anyways, PGA 2K again. Come check it out if you're looking for a golf game. If you're looking for a game to just cleanse your palate, I think this is a game that can do that for you. It has this way of sucking you in and just trying to. I still haven't. You've got to play certain on certain tournaments, certain height in order to qualify. I've qualified for 2. It's. I have my difficulty ramped up. I just start at the top.
Dude, did you say we have a league?
Yeah.
Or
Golf Club Society. Yeah. Come join us. Just search XoneBros.
And there's no fees. He said there's no fees.
Oh, no fees.
It is open to the public. With that, before we get to the news, I do want to get your guys' thoughts and impressions on the Batman trailer that came out. The new movie.
The movie?
Oh, the movie or the
we
game?
can talk movies.
There's the game as well. But let's talk. Let's get that. In fact, can we pull that up for everybody watching live just so it could be there? I'll give you my thoughts and impressions. So I remember where I was when I saw the Dark Knight trailer. I was at my grandparents' house and I was at their computer and I saw it. And it had an impact on me oh my goodness. I cannot wait to see that. And I've not felt that way for a trailer again until this trailer. And for me, it is the grittiness. It's the Riddler. It's the badassery. It's when Batman punches those dudes in the subway, and then punches them on the ground.
What's
and
funny
he's
about
vengeance?
What's funny about that scene? When I saw that, I was like, X X Y Y X X B X, and then he's on the ground, X X X,
because they're used to the game. Yeah, that is funny. But I really love the tone. I love the grittiness. I actually like the dude as Batman. I think he's this dark, silent character that I think looks really cool.
I had this discussion with Jordan, and I had a discussion with my wife. Yeah. I was not expecting him, the Twilight kid.
Twilight dude, yeah. I mean, he did break a bed.
I
mean, he knows that he's got some cojones.
I was not expecting him to look as good as a Batman and a Bruce Wayne as this. I know trailers.
I love this part too, right? Watch, I am not. He's pissed.
Oh, I love that. I know. Look. I was not expecting that to be. You have your the worst Batmans to the great Batmans, just like 007, right? You have And I consider, I have my list of who I think is the best and worst. Granted, this is a trailer, so you're basically seeing the cream of the crop of all the scenes, but he has potential to be one of the best Batmans I've ever seen.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Gritty. Jordan has I know he's got some reservations.
Well, it's not an issue.
And it's funny
I just hope they don't. And it's just because of the end scene, right? Which, I mean, he probably just took off his mask from a sweaty battle. I don't know, but I just hope they don't make him too emo.
Okay, I can see that.
That's my only thing.
I don't think so. I think he's angry.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I like an angry Batman.
This part right here,
Bruce Wayne.
Well, look, this is the first Batman that retains his eye makeup.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't. When he takes the mask off, it's still there.
Oh, he looks cool.
But I mean, I like Mark said. He goes, "Well, isn't Batman kind of emo anyway?"
Well, he is the emo character.
Yeah, he is. But Bruce Wayne is very,
playboy. Yeah.
I think it looks fantastic.
So I'm curious to see how he plays Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Again, I haven't had this kind of vibe from a Batman or from a trailer, regardless, since The Dark Knight, and we all know how that turned out.
And I gotta say, having the Riddler as a villain is awesome. I think me and Jordan had this discussion.
Yeah, suck it, Jim Carrey.
I think Jim Carrey, right before the Grinch, when he was the Grinch, I think. Well, that whole time period that movie, Tommy Lee Jones. There's a lot of stuff going on with that one. I mean, we were talking about Uma Thurman. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I really think that the Riddler has been
I think he's an underrated villain.
Underrated villain and underperformed villain.
Yeah.
I think, and the direction that he's been in the past has been
Jim Carrey, very jokey. funny, almost like a Joker. They're trying to do a Joker with the Riddler, and he's not necessarily he's not that he's calculated.
But the Joker still doesn't wear tights that leave no imagination to the goods. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing. But to have the Joker in here, I think he's going to be a great bad guy. I'm really excited for, the Riddler. Yeah, thank you. The Riddler. I'm really excited for this movie. I was not expecting to be excited for it because, of past transgressions of Twilight with this actor. But I'm extremely excited. Looks very good.
Well, apparently Reactor Leak says Penguin is in this movie. I did not know that. That is cool.
Danny DeVito?
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
They typecasted him.
He is literally the Penguin.
He is the Penguin. Oh yeah. Oh man. Vengeance. It looks really good. Thanks for bringing this up. I'm glad we could talk about it.
I was super stoked for it.
If anyone hasn't seen the trailer, go on YouTube, look at the trailer.
Funny story. So if you wait just a second, Mark, at the very end. So me and my wife watched this, and she thought that
the question mark.
Yeah, because it was $0 1, so for 2021, but to also kind of show the Riddler. She thought because of the pandemic, they didn't know when it was coming out, so they put. She was like, "Oh, do they not know when it's coming out?"
Yeah, 2031. It's coming out in 2031.
Oh, Colin Farrell is the Penguin. His Reactor Leak says he's the kind of fatter guy towards the middle. He doesn't say anything.
Now, is it gonna be Colin Farrell, or all of a sudden is it gonna be Johnny Depp? You remember in the Harry Potter movies, it was Colin Farrell the whole time. Then they just randomly had to change it to Johnny Depp. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Well, speaking of Twilight, someone said this in chat. They don't see Twilight guy; they see Cedric Diggory. That's true.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
This is his origin story.
This is his origin story.
It's totally his origin. He was Bruce Wayne.
Then he went to Hogwarts.
You're a wizard, Bruce.
You're a wizard, Bruce.
This was before he fell into the well.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
I mean, Harry Potter was before he fell into the well. It's hilarious. All right. Well.
There's people in chat are saying I'm not a fan of the Batmobile though. I feel like this is like an early version of Batman where he's becoming Batman.
Yeah, younger. I feel like it's a younger version. Yeah.
It's like a normal car Batmobile up.
It totally, it's like a Plymouth Fury or some.
Yeah,
and he ordered
a Charger, a Dodge Charger,
Dodge Charger, and he ordered in like just a jet engine in the back. But so I'm okay with it because it's the roots of Batman, and he's just, it basically looks like he's wearing a hoodie with a hockey chest grid thing on, right? Like he's figuring things out. He's just pissed off at everything right now. And I think if he just found a junker car and put a badass engine in it, that's what you would get. So I'm okay with the car. I actually kind of like it.
I wonder where it is because like these guys right here that he's beating up in the
there's the
alleyway. I wonder if they're because when I first saw that I was like, oh, are they like Joker followers because of their makeup?
Yeah.
So I wonder I wonder where the time does. I do think I think it's an earlier Batman as well, but I wonder where the time frame is.
Yeah, I bet you it's going to overlap, and it's like Easter egg with other characters that they're alluding to here as well. So, anyways, regardless, there we go. I had to talk about it because. Again, I'm just so excited for it, and it does tie into some other game news that we'll get to later about the Batman series,
like Batman,
like Batman. And with that, let's go to the news. This is the portion where we talk about the news. Jordan, tell us what is happening in the world that is Xbox.
A lot of big stuff.
Week.
Let's just start out with the Batman stuff. So, Batman Gotham Knights has been announced.
Yep.
Which is basically you get to play as the Red Hood, you get to play as Nightwing,
nice.
You get to play as I believe it's Red Robin, and then Batgirl.
You can do so all simultaneously.
Co-op.
Ooh, I like that
very,
a lot.
Very fun. They did have a co-op demo that they played, which is really cool. Gotham Knights is coming out in, what was it, 2021?
Yes.
2021, yeah.
They got a cinematic trailer, which is really cool. The premise of the trailer is Batman died, and he sent out his last words to those 4 people, and they were like, oh no.
Mr. Freeze is going down.
And then...
what I like about the trailer is the world that they're showing off this level where Mr. Freeze is frozen in this building, and he's like at the top of it, and you're climbing up of it, and the way that co-op works with that, but the world looks so good and so cool, and obviously the Batman fighting has always been on point.
Well, it's going to be interesting playing as different characters. Like, are you going to have to upgrade each character? You know what I mean? Like, I think there might be a lot of replayability here.
Yeah.
Not to mention the whole co-op aspect will be pretty fun, right? So
yeah, I really like the co-op aspect. I like how it ties into like you don't have. I can just jump in and play with.
maybe
you.
he kept his makeup
while you're. while you're in the middle of the game, I can just jump in and play with you. That part is really cool, and they actually highlighted that when you first jump in with the player. Can you type in gameplay?
Yeah, have you seen the gameplay? It looks really good.
This is just the like.
Yeah, there's an actual
trailer.
gameplay trailer. So there's Batgirl watching. She's got high end stuff. I believe it was the red hood you had there, just sitting in the alleyway.
Yeah. I'll pull it up. Keep talking. We'll do this one.
No, yeah, so Gotham Knights, very cool. The most exciting part is I'm really curious to see how they do the co-op. Because traditionally, the Batman games, the Arkham games, have been single player, right? Yeah. But no, I'm really curious to see how they do the co-ops. Now, this game isn't from Rocksteady. Rocksteady's doing another one that we'll talk about in a minute. I think this is Warner Brothers Montreal.
Yeah.
So this isn't Rocksteady, but of course it's probably got the similar formula and stuff like that. Right now we're watching the gameplay trailer of Batgirl on the Bat Cycle.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. The game looks good. Mr. Freeze is the big bad villain.
Ice to see you.
Yeah. I was hoping it would get Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice, but
Freeze.
No, but really excited. The big features though, co-op, and then of course coming out in 2021.
Yeah. Overall, if you fast forward halfway through, I just really like how it looks.
And I believe it was I think it's Red Robin.
Yeah, there he is.
It's Red Robin. I know it's Batgirl, Nightwing. I believe it's Red Robin, and
they're all going to have their advantages, disadvantages, and you can level up their powers and abilities even. They talked about in the game, so it looks.
Yeah, that's Red Robin.
It looks really good. I'm really impressed. I've actually never got.
Well, going through a mission in single player and co-op with 2 and then 4, I mean that changes the way you play every time. Like for example, they're showing
when
now
you're trying to be stealth and your friend is just going in.
Yeah, but I mean they're showing right now she's taking the bottom floor, he's taking the top floor. What would this mission be like in single player? What would this mission be like with 4 players? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if I were the bad guys and I saw 4 of them walking up, I would just give up. I mean, at least with 1, you can be like, oh, it's 10 against 1.
10 against 1, we got him.
Yeah,
but then there's 2, there's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way. Plus, she's got light up nunchucks.
Yeah,
she does.
That's actually
amongst other things.
Amongst other light up
toys.
No, but really cool. I'm excited for this game. The other game that was announced is the Rocksteady game that they're developing, and this one isn't coming out for a while.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is just a cinematic trailer. Basically, you're playing the Suicide Squad in the well, you're not playing, but the Suicide Squad's there. They're kind of being themselves because they're the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And then they're told to go take out a target at a certain location. So they go to that location, and they realize right at the end of the trailer that target is evil Superman.
Oh, and it's so good.
Yeah, very, very interesting. So this is the one that is done by Rocksteady, and nothing against WB Montreal, but I think Rocksteady has proven that they are a very good developer when it comes to the superhero games. They're the ones that did they didn't do Arkham Origins, that was another studio, but they did Arkham Knight series, the 3, right? The original 3, right?
Yeah, the good ones.
The good ones, yeah. But no, this just cinematic, no gameplay. This one's coming out a lot later, but it's exciting. It's interesting. I'm curious to see what they do. I again wonder if it's going to be another 4-player co-op type game because there are multiple members of the Suicide Squad, right? It's interesting that this is a whole new color palette for Rocksteady. I mean, they're in Metropolis, a lot brighter colors, right? Yeah. Like this is almost a whole different animal.
Well, and they're fighting 2 bad guys. Correct?
Yeah, well, there's obviously
I
that
assume they're going to be a lot more than 2.
No, but
obviously there's something going on in the trailer. The city's being attacked, but then there's bad guy Superman at the end, who, by the way, just takes out a pilot.
Dude,
have you seen this one, Mark?
No, I actually haven't.
He just takes out a pilot.
He looks cool. I love that they're popping a Batman balloon. That's hilarious. But I think evil Superman is one of the most interesting villain types, like twists on the stories. In comics, he's so cool as a bad guy. I really like him.
Well, and what's fun about the Suicide Squad is it's a really interesting dynamic because you kind of root for them, even though you know they're the bad guys. And what's funny is, like you saw, he popped the Batman balloon. They're not necessarily friends with the good guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're not.
They're on probation.
Yeah,
so they're forced to be good guys.
Yeah, they talk about. They don't talk about the good guys in the best of light. It's just a really interesting dynamic from a story. Like it's just the opposite, right? It's the opposite. You're playing the bad guys, right?
You're fighting bad guys with bad guys.
And the fact that their story is interesting. The reason they're called the Suicide Squad is because they're sent in, like they're basically expendable. no one cares if they die, so they're sent on these like suicide missions, right? So
good.
But anyway, very cool. But yeah, at the very end, it shows Superman right here, actually.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, did I miss it?
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh no, what happened? A helicopter blew up. For those of you that
no. And then there he is. And he's like...
And I'm like, oh, yes, the
Superman,
beacon of hope.
He's come to save the day. There he is. But nope. Hold on a minute.
And then...
Okay, guy in blue, what do we do here? And then look at him. Look at that neck, by the way.
Let's be real. Superman has an awesome neck.
Yeah.
Thanks,
He's like Gaston. He's the Gaston.
Yeah, he is. Look, he just lasers.
And everybody goes...
He just disintegrates him.
Oh!
So good.
What?
Dude, Superman's been working out. He's been hitting the gym.
He has. Well,
what kind of gym can Superman actually go to?
He has to fly to another planet.
He does dumbbells with kryptonite.
Is that how he?
That's how he
Probably
straigens.
how he gets to get stronger.
Maybe
you got to tear your muscles to build your muscles.
Well, I know, like Mr. Incredible would use like trains to lift weights. I just don't know what he would use.
Planets,
but then he totally ruins planets.
That's why you go to like underdeveloped planets.
Like when he does push-ups, is he's moving the Earth away, and then pulling it back? Is that what he's doing? Oh.
What kind of protein does he take, too? That's what you also got to ask. What's his diet?
Pre-workout.
Yeah, did you take pre-workout? That pre-workout stuff? Yeah. Anyway, so you got Batman Arkham Knights coming out, and then you have Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League. Both of them look good. I'm excited to see more future gameplay of Suicide Squad, but...
His pre-workout drink flavor is Sunshine. That's the name of the flavor.
Sun-kissed. Yeah.
Yellow Sun-kissed.
Yellow Sun-kissed. Call of Duty. We got.
Oh, sorry. We actually got two more before that.
Whoa.
I didn't put them in there. Two big ones, actually. Halo
Infinite.
Let's talk a little bit about Halo. Halo is bringing back 2 developers to lead their multiplayer and campaign teams, respectively. The first one is Pierre Hintz. He worked a lot on the Master Chief Collection. He is going to be the project lead for the game's multiplayer.
Yeah, the free-to-play
component, which will be free to play, which is very exciting. I enjoy his work and what he's done. The other big one, because I think anybody who's played the original Halos or knows about Bungie and stuff like that will know this guy, Joseph Staton. He is coming back, and he is going to be the project lead over the campaign.
Oh,
which is really good because he's
the Halo trilogy guy.
He was in the he did
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
right?
he did 1, 2, and 3. I believe he was actually the full game director over ODST. I think they gave it to him to do it, right? But he I think he wrote the story for ReCore as well. He's a writer. He's written some of the Halo books, which are really good. He's a really good pillar of the Halo universe, right? And I'm glad they're bringing them back. So that being said, I'm gonna say this again. I think I've said it for the past 3 weeks. I'm very glad that they're moving these people into these positions. I trust Joseph Staton. I think he's going to make a solid campaign. I think his work proves itself.
Agreed.
I like the choice with Pierre Hintz going to the multiplayer component, right? And they're both project leads over those respective departments. Again, them making this move this late in the cycle makes me think they were not focused.
Well, I wonder if there was some leadership issues that had
which is what I've been saying. They were not focused.
Yeah. It does make me wonder. However, on the flip side, they maybe have always been trying to get these guys, and we're finally able to land them. Maybe that's the situation as well.
Well, I mean, Joseph Staton still works for Microsoft.
And you got to think he's also been involved since the beginning with Halo, and he was with all the Destiny stuff, and Destiny's been nailing it.
Well, I don't think he left Bungie right before Destiny release, so he may have worked on some of the Destiny stuff.
It says he worked on Destiny stories. So
yes.
So that does give me hope. That gives me faith.
He's a cool guy, though. He's actually a really cool guy. But no, I'm very excited. I think this is a good move by them. It gives me excitement and joy and kind of builds up the hype just because of their pedigree, especially Joseph Staton. But it does also make me think, like, were they not focused? And they're bringing these guys in to basically say, okay, hey, kids.
Agreed.
This is how we make a game.
You're probably right, but I think it's okay to refocus.
No, I don't think that's a problem. I'm
if they
glad
weren't
they're
focused,
doing it.
They caught it before they caught it in time. They caught it in time. So, I mean, how many years did we see God of War trailers? Right? I mean, it was 5 years of trailers. So I think, I'm totally okay with them just. I mean, as long as it comes out before I'm dead, that's fine. But I don't want it to come out bad.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And if they did catch themselves, maybe the whole, trailer that or what we're watching right now when this was released in their event
Game
thing.
showcase.
Maybe the pushback from all the discussions and everything kind of was a jarring moment to be like, okay.
We need this to be perfect.
We need it to be perfect, right? And I actually think the gameplay, the mechanics look really smooth and great.
Agree.
It does.
Even during the fights, it looks good. Like it just it looks good. I think we're expecting a lot from the first generation of ray tracing tech, right? So I think that needs to take time to develop. Jordan, we were even talking about what Halo was it Halo 4? It's Halo Reach. That was a 360 game.
No, 4.
They're
both 360 games.
Halo 4 was a 360 game, and look how good that looked because it was not released at the beginning of the generation, right? So even if this game comes out a year later or even 2 years later, heaven forbid, they will have been able to utilize the tech and understand it better and understand it, optimize it, so it will even look way better than a launch title of any generation of hardware, right?
No,
so
I agree.
I think I'm okay with it personally. It sucks that it's delayed, but I'm actually glad they're kind of catching themselves a little bit and going, okay, hold on, let's tap the brakes a little bit and get these folks that know what they're doing and just make sure
refocus.
Right?
No, I'm fine with refocusing. All this stuff coming out makes me think that they weren't necessarily focused.
I would like to take an I told you so moment here. In my video that was released a few weeks ago when we got news of Halo Infinite being delayed, I did say that heads should roll because of it. I think it was a big mishandling PR-wise. It looks like some heads did roll, or at least leadership was replaced in this instance. So I think that they're like holy shit.
David from the XoneBros just said that heads should roll. Get on it.
Get out of it. No. But it seemed like the way that they handled the announcement of the delay just seemed
someone made a mistake.
Yeah, that something wasn't right there, and it looks like they went out and got, at the very least, and maybe this isn't the case at all, but the way it's perceived right now, it looks like they put some new leadership. People in new leadership positions.
What do companies say to make it sound good? They reorganized or something like that, right? They reorganized their structure.
They cut the fat.
They cut the fat, yeah. No, but what's also interesting is some of the articles I've read is it says Joseph Staton will be the project lead over the campaign for the last year of its development.
And it says specifically in the statement that he's here to help them ship the game.
Yeah, so what people are thinking, or what I'm thinking, it said last year of the development, right? So, and I think actually chat may have mentioned it already as well. I think we might see this as a holiday 2021 release date,
Probably.
right? Rather than a early 2021, right? But we'll see. We'll see.
It's okay. Hopefully I'm alive.
We do have a correction that needs to be made. I just looked it up. I double checked it. Ronan in chat said, to clarify, it is only actually 2-player co-op, and I looked it up because I thought I saw a 4-player co-op in Batman. Sorry, going back to Batman.
Oh, is it only 2-player? Oh, sorry.
And it does. They do say only 2-player actually.
Oh.
So yeah.
Why did we think 4? It was because of you.
Because there's
you
4
told
people.
me 4.
They show 4 characters jump on the trailer.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. And they're like giving each other butt slaps and everything. Like, yeah. Let's do this. It showed 4 characters.
So I did do it. We did drop a video this week over on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to YouTube, youtube.com/XoneBros. And I talked about this story in particular. And I said that there's 2 ways to spin it, and I think you guys have both nailed on the way that I think it should be looked at. I said you could look at this negatively, as in they were all messed up, but I think the way to look at it is they're riding the ship, right? That whatever is happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, this bodes well for Halo. It bodes well for Halo Infinite, and it makes me hopeful.
Like I said, I think there's stuff happening behind the scenes, or at least there was. I think
it's pretty obvious there is.
Yeah,
they're replacing leadership. They're like, get Joe on the phone right now.
Where's Joe?
Just give him
Where's
what he wants. Give him what he wants.
I have a few opinions on what I think is happening, but
it's pretty clear that there's stuff going on.
But I like the changes they're making, and like I said, it sounds like they're refocusing, which is good.
Yeah, agreed.
They're getting serious. But anyway, Season 4, Chapter 2, Season 4 of Fortnite is now available. The Nexus War.
Very Marvel Avenger-esque.
Yeah, it is Marvel Avenger-esque.
It literally is.
It literally is, yeah.
Starts out with Iron Man flying through what looks like Utah.
Probably.
Looks like
anyway,
Moab right there.
all the Avengers.
Yeah, that's Arches. That's Arches National Park.
Some of the
flying through
it is.
Moab.
It totally is.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. See, I called it.
I've hiked some of those trails.
So basically, what happens in the first trailer is all the Avengers, a variety of characters, including Wolverine.
And they have like Weapon X Wolverine.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh man.
Get teleported to, I guess, the Fortnite universe, right?
Fortnite-verse.
The Fortnite-verse. And they're here in the Fortnite-verse to help save the day, which will then save all the universes type thing going on. And then, of course, they have a Battle Pass trailer. But very cool. I mean, I think this might be one of their more popular seasons because of the Marvel characters, right? I mean, that's just
most definitely.
That's just cool. I mean, you got Storm looking good.
Storm is looking really good.
Storm is extremely
so
powerful.
Is Thor.
Yeah.
Look
They
at
have some
Thor.
pretty powerful heroes here. Although I'm not seeing Silver Surfer, which I feel like you're
interesting.
going to bring in Galactus, you know.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
Fortnite doing its Fortnite thing. I think there is some news about Fortnite not being on the new season, not launching on iOS right now.
Yeah.
But that's just due to
In between suing giant corporations, Fortnite is still crushing it.
All right, now let's get to the one that everybody wants to talk
Call
about.
of Duty. Black Ops. We have been
Cold War.
Cold War. We have
Titles are getting out of control. I
Titles
feel.
getting out of control. Yeah. So we were like, how are you going to do this with Warzone? We talked about this months ago, and
I thought it was-
Warzone is basically the end all of Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare. You've got Call of Duty Warzone, but I really like the way they're doing it, and I actually plan on playing this game now because of this. I mean, there's Ronald Reagan at the table telling us to go kill people.
And you're like,
Holy crap! And then there's Robert Redford sitting next to him.
yeah, I thought I
love that it looks like
Well,
it's
yeah.
totally got to be like an appreciation of his like Cold War movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was
Awesome.
like, it was Robert, because you know how like they had like Kit Harington and Kevin Spacey, so I legitimately thought they were going back to that. And I'm like, is this Robert?
It
Redford?
even kind of sounds like
Yeah, I was
him.
like, I think this is Robert Redford. And you notice he like, yeah, it's cool.
Other people have said also they get like a Brad Pitt vibe from him, and I could see that as well.
Well, at
but-
first I was like, is that Kurt Russell? And then I was like, no, it's Robert Redford. Who is this?
Because Kurt
Who is
Russell,
this
I
guy?
can
You
see
know,
Kurt
like, is that
Russell.
Kurt
too,
Russell?
but
Yeah, who is?
It just made me feel good.
Yeah, really good. Of course, the game looks good. It is your typical Call of Duty Michael Bay high octane campaign trailer. But what's really cool is let's talk about how they announced it. So they did announce it within Warzone. They did an event just like Fortnite does. Now, it wasn't as elaborate as like a Fortnite event, but it was still really cool. So what you did is you logged in at a certain time during the day. You jumped into Warzone. You had some objectives to complete. I think it was like finding codes, weapons, stuff like that, right? What was really cool is everything was redacted on the map, like all the names, like it was very Black Ops-ish, right? Things were redacted on the map, stuff like that. Anyway, once you collected everything and the time ran up, you actually redeployed, and it said, time is running out, you're not going to make it, get to the stadium.
Yeah.
And then you heard like countdowns in the background. You saw tons of airplanes flying around. You're running to the stadium, and then all of a sudden, the screen goes black. And I assume, I don't know, someone dropped a bomb or something, but the screen goes black, and then the trailer plays within the game.
And
which
it's
was
a
That's
cinematic
so
trailer.
awesome.
it was really cool. I'm excited that they do these type of things. I think, Fortnite obviously does it and has success with it, so I'm really excited for them to start doing this type of stuff because it's always fun. They did show just a snippet of multiplayer. It was a campaign trailer. They showed a snippet of multiplayer at the end, and we're going to get more multiplayer reveal on September 9th. But big things is character creation will be in the new game. You're going to have, you can pick a male, female, or you can be classified. I think I'll be classified because I like to be mysterious. I think that like Batman's classified. You know what I mean?
I want to be Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Now I may be wrong, and chat can correct me because I know some Call of Duty fans are here. I think they did say that Ronald Reagan will be playable
Yes!
in the zombie mode.
Yes!
Well, because we were reminiscing about
I
the
think-
first time zombie mode with Ronald Reagan, JFK sitting around.
Oh no,
and
it
then-
was JFK, Richard Nixon, and
Oh, it was Richard
Fidel
Nixon. That's right.
Castro.
It was Richard Nixon,
That, by
that's
the
right.
way, if you haven't seen that cutscene, that is one of the great. I think that's
So
probably the
good.
greatest cutscene of all time. So, but anyway, I'm not 100% sure. I thought I read that somewhere, but I may be wrong. So if I am, I'm sorry. But I thought that maybe you could play. They had mentioned you can play Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan
in the
in
zombie
zombies,
mode.
but I don't know. We'll see.
I could do Richard Nixon too.
So Ronan,
just give me American presidents where I can go kill zombies.
That would be awesome.
I don't care who.
And they all have different abilities. That would be hilarious.
So Ronan in chat, our resident Call of Duty guy, he says, I'm sure he'll be in zombies. He So I think, and maybe that's what I read. They said like it would be cool if he was in Zombies. So maybe that's what I read. So maybe no confirmation, but it would be cool if he was there. Now they had a lot of good announcements, multiple endings, which will be cool. So you have multiple endings. You can choose your own character. Multiple endings gives it replayability, which will be cool, right? They had all these really cool announcements. It's coming out in November, which is really not too far away. Then they had this huge, I think huge, but just me, this huge misstep by telling us that you have to pay a $10 upgrade fee if you want to get
for the
if you want to get the next gen versions. Now they showed the game, I believe, playing on the PlayStation 5, so we got to see kind of what the next gen consoles would look like. But we've talked about this with 2K. I don't think this is a smart move. We're of the opinion that
this is a situation where they already have microtransactions.
Yeah,
right. So it's
and Battle Pass, which you're making more money off of that.
It's a situation again that doesn't justify it in my opinion.
And I believe
I think it's offensive. Honestly, that's stupid.
Yeah,
to do a $10
upgrade fee.
Yeah, that's
so. I think it's foolish.
Meanwhile, there was never an upgrade fee for any kind of enhancement. To take advantage of
what kind of enhancement we talking? Sometimes that gets real expensive.
That's true. Well, that's maybe what we're seeing here. But the Project Scorpio enhancement or anything like that, there was no upgrade fee for that. I think that they're slowly trying to make $70 the norm. At least certain developers are trying to do that, or not developers, but
unfortunately, because
production companies.
Yeah. I think this is an Activision thing. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. We've talked about it before. I think because people use they say AAA games are a lot more expensive to make nowadays. Yes, they are, but like we've said, you also have a lot more gamers buying your game. You're still making millions of dollars.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like you're still.
Well,
I think
again, you've microtransactioned the crap out of.
Oh
this.
yeah. Like I said, you got your. I mean, let's just. If we take Modern Warfare as an example, which will probably be moved into, you have your battle passes that you're going to sell every so many months, right? Yeah. For $1. You have people that are going to spend extra money on the battle pass because they don't want to unlock it; they'll just buy the tiers. You have your shop with the blueprints that you can make, your cosmetics. I think it's the same as 2K. You already have your microtransactions in there that you're making a ton of money off of. Why are you doing another?
It's like buying food at an amusement park. I already paid to get in, and then you price gouge me for the food.
They made me buy a whole nother game to play the remake of Modern Warfare.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
So it's not like they have the best.
They don't have the best track record. They literally had me buy an entire game to do that. So
yeah. $70 is coming. I actually disagree, Ronan. I actually don't think $70 is coming. I think this is like the weather balloon that's being pumped up. I think it's going to try to come, but I think Game Pass is the biggest argument against $70 games that's coming. I actually think Game Pass, if it's successful,
not to mention you have your free to play models like Fortnite and Apex that are destroying money.
Yeah, I think if Game Pass is successful, I think we'll see some games do it and try to do it. I think long run, I don't know if it happens.
I think the market's going to push back.
Yeah, I don't know if it happens. So, but we'll see. I mean, I definitely agree that it's going to be. We're going to see more of this for sure.
It's just announced, and it's already had a lot of pushback.
Yeah, does it stick? Is the question. Now, like I said, there are games that do justify that I don't have a problem with. If Cyberpunk decided to do that, I don't have a problem with a Cyberpunk traditional, CD Projekt Red, where there isn't necessarily microtransactions.
But I don't know. I don't like the $70. That's a lot of money for a game. I mean, $60 is a lot of money for a game.
Call it psychological. I don't know what you would call it, but
yeah, that's true. Ronan's to say everything increases eventually. Fitzy had a good question. He said, "Is Call of Duty still in contract with Sony for DLCs and everything? Hasn't that been the deal for the last couple games?"
Yeah, I think so.
Well, and that's why marketing you saw captured on PS5, the beta coming first to PS5, all that stuff, right?
PS4. They're actually saying PS4.
Oh, PS4
because they're doing the $60 version.
Oh yeah,
not the $70.
You're getting the
PS5 is the $70.
You're getting the $60 beta, not the $70 beta.
Yeah. Maybe what we'll start to see more, because now the $70 discussion is taking off in chat, and maybe what we'll start to see more is more tiered pricing with games. So like, because I feel like there's not so much variety in pricing right now, but maybe we'll see more variety in pricing.
And I mean, it's kind of what would you call it? Like Blake says, I don't want to pay $70, but I will. I mean, with a game like Call of Duty, I don't want to pay $70. But a lot of people are going to play. Yeah, you know what I mean. True. So it's what do you do? I think Call of Duty probably has a little bit more clout to do 70 than a 2K game, because Call of Duty has a bigger player base, right? Yeah.
But particularly, I feel like it works.
I don't know.
I feel like it works more in a game that's a campaign versus a yearly sports game release. I think a yearly sports game release of 2K is That
Yeah.
super microtransactions you through card packs and stuff. It's like Hearthstone. If Hearthstone decided, after being free to play all this time, to now charge you $60 to get into the game, on top of card packs,
which is funny because
what 2K is.
I think I spent $200 a year on that game.
Yeah, which is
And it's a
essentially what
free-to-play game.
2K
Well,
is
that's
doing.
the idea. Yeah.
So,
Well, and well, I don't know. Maybe it's a part of their strategy. Like for example, they were in the boardroom and they're like, okay, we're already taking their hard drive space. What if we take all their money too? And then they can't buy any other games.
we take their hard drive space.
Take all of it.
to take their
Let's just take it all.
Regardless, it is going to be interesting to see how it plays. And getting back to Call of Duty Black Ops, we were very like, okay, how are you going to beat Modern Warfare? I think it's time to get rid of the
this
yearly
is
release.
a,
but I like the way they're doing it.
This is a direct sequel to Black Ops. So you're So
I really like the way they're doing it. I think they're doing it smart. It makes me want to play it and play the campaign and enjoy it. I like that they've implemented it into Warzone, and they had that reveal event in Warzone. I think that's cool. I think
Robert Redford
and Ronald Reagan and everybody. I think they're doing a really cool way. And it's exciting.
Yeah, I'm curious. I really am curious to see what goes on with this $70. What games are going to do it? Ronan again said nobody wanted to pay $60, and here we are. I mean, yeah, I would rather not pay $60, but I don't know. Oh. $70 is just a lot for a game.
I do think the market is shifting though, and I think that Game Pass is the future. Subscription models like that. So that's going to be interesting to see how that evolves. Like, it's not operating in a vacuum. The $70 increase doesn't operate in a vacuum, right? Like, there is other things happening.
Well, I think the reason it's such a discussion is because not everyone's doing it. Like, for example, some of these games are like Cyberpunk. It says you're getting a free upgrade when we come out with ours. Yeah. Halo's not doing it. They actually announced free multiplayer, and then we don't know how much the campaign's going to be, right? What was the Assassin's Creed is going to have a free upgrade, right? You know what I mean? Not everybody's doing it. Only certain that's why I think it's become. If everybody was doing it, it might be a little bit less of a discussion. But anyway, it's interesting.
I feel like
is what I'm saying.
The big guys will determine it. So like an Activision, and then if you followed up with like the next Rockstar game, if they both do it, then that's the norm.
But knowing that Activision is on the helm here, I think it's more of a them doing it rather than the industry doing it type of thing.
Yeah.
At good old Activision Blizzard.
Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, they're funny, huh?
Yeah.
They're funny.
Anyway, Monster Hunter World Iceborne's final free update, Title Update 5, releases September 30th. They talked about during a developer diary stream. Title Update 5 will introduce the Elder Dragon Fatalis.
Ooh, Fatalis.
You know about Fatalis.
Yeah, I got kicked someone in the Fatalis once.
Yeah. No, I was there.
Yeah, I think
you'll be able to.
You couldn't walk for days.
You'll defeat the powerful monster, and you'll get to craft new gear, weapons, and new costumes, material drops, all that fun stuff. New events, which is really great.
If you think you liked The Sims before,
you're gonna love it now. Sims 4 Star Wars expansion is coming out. What this is gonna do? It's gonna take you and your Sims on a journey.
To Batu.
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 I wonder who comes up with these names.
Batu.
Because I feel like, anyway. It takes you to Batu, the planet Batu, to Black Spire Outpost, which is occupied by both the Resistance and the First Order.
And now you get to be a Sims in Star Wars.
And now you get to be a Sims in Star Wars.
Because The Sims has not appealed to me for a while. When The Sims first came out, I really enjoyed it. However, playing a Sim in a Star Wars universe, that appeals to me all of a sudden, and I want to go see what it's like. And it's this new take. I actually think it's really...
I hope we'll be able to build our houses.
I think it's really smart.
Yeah.
And you're going to have all kinds... give me a green lady any day of the week.
Get her!
No, she was just...
I'm gonna be controversial.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand what's going on with this game.
Well, it's
confusing the hell out of me.
So the Sims...
Just think Sims.
I know.
I get it. Star Wars skin, yeah.
It's just not. It's not for me.
Think about R2-D2 in the shower, and they put the blur thing over it.
I know. I don't get that.
Or using the bathroom.
I am so into this. I'm very excited. Very excited to be able to live a Sim life in the Star Wars verse.
Yes, the Sims. It'll be a $40 expansion, by the way.
It's probably really popular, and I'm probably going to get some flack for this, but this is offensive to me as a Star Wars fan. I don't get it.
So you don't want to live a life in Star Wars?
Not this life. Not
they do
not
have
this
Star Wars
version
stuff,
of the multiverse.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, but
You
look
can
what
make
you
a
look at what you can do. You make your own
Picture-
cantina.
Picture
yeah.
spicy. You're an owner of a cantina, and I get to come in and you get to serve me drinks. And who knows what happens in there? I don't know. Maybe you have bounties. Maybe you're a bounty hunter
Yeah,
only
maybe
cantina.
you shoot the what's his name, Greedo or whatever his face.
Yeah,
you know.
maybe you can be Greedo. Your own Greedo. You
get
get to
shot.
live his life.
Can you though?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
it
mean,
looks
you can
like.
create whoever you want.
Yeah,
You know,
you-
it's
this is
It's
exactly
like-
what it looks like.
It's like just like a fever dream of Star Wars is what I'm looking at in this trailer.
Which I'm down with.
Like I took way too much melatonin, and then I'm just like, there's something off.
Dude, you do get crazy dreams on melatonin.
I know.
By the way,
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's something off about my Star. I was just watching Star Wars and some Netflix series that my wife is watching, and I fall asleep with melatonin, and then this is what's produced.
which I'm down with.
Yeah, it's, nothing wrong with that.
I don't know. I just don't get it. Maybe I'll get it later. I just don't get it.
So anyway, Sims with the Sims and Star Wars bundle or coming out on September 8th, I believe it was, but it'll be out on the Xbox. You'll be able to buy it. $40 expansion. Speaking of games that are coming out, Kingdoms of Amalur.
I'm excited. Everybody tells me I have to play this.
They came out with a new trailer for this. It's a remastered game, or it's going to be remastered for the new consoles, right? This game was fantastic on the 360. If you ever played it,
I remember the cover art, though.
in my opinion, one of the best RPGs. Really good, really good. The remastered version, just a few weeks away, and they released a new trailer, just kind of showing basically different skill trees.
Yeah, combat
Life
still
paths,
trees and
if you want to call it, like
classes,
City of-
the whole shop.
But very cool.
sorry,
It's about a minute trailer, but I'm excited for this game. Very cool, very fun. It's coming out September 8th, and it's going to be $40 for just the base remastered edition, or you can get the Fate edition for $55, which includes the Fate's Worn expansion, which will come out later in 2021. But
Dude, so good.
very cool. This was a really good game. I feel like if you took the color palette of Fable and the RPG-ness of Skyrim and put them into one
that's
game,
what
like
it looks
that's
like.
what it that's it's such a fun game. I'm really excited to go replay this.
Yeah,
replay this.
recommend Chess is one of the most underrated games on the 360.
Oh, agreed.
And I think
100% agree.
I think Fitzy in chat before has said too, this is a fantastic game. Maybe it wasn't Fitzy, but I'm pretty sure it was. And everybody says that I should play it. So.
Yeah, Rona never got to play it, and I'm stoked to play the remastered. I'm excited for you. You remember that time, like the first time you play a game and it blows your mind,
Like Skyrim.
I'm
The first
exci-
time
yeah,
I was
like,
walking,
I'm excited.
Do you guys
for
remember
you.
the first time walking down that section of Skyrim where it's snowy and seeing your first giant?
And you're like, oh,
like,
my
oh,
gosh.
Oh yeah.
That.
Oh yeah. And
Or
then
a
when you like
dragon.
went to attack it and it just beat the
Just killed
your
you.
body just goes limp and it just launches you across the
Or
map.
the first time you see a dragon fly overhead and at like a castle
Yeah.
that's been ruined already.
For anybody who has not played this game, I would recommend getting it. I think this game, the remastered version, don't worry about getting like the super duper edition. I mean, you don't need to play I mean, you can if you want, but the base game for $40, really good. I mean, even look at this game. Like, so this is obviously remastered. They kind of just basically made textures a little bit better, but I mean,
Looks
for being
good
a
still.
360 game, it still doesn't look too
Oh,
bad.
yeah,
right? But
absolutely.
anyway, very cool. $40 or $55 if you want the big edition. Coming out September
The
8th.
big announcement, the big game
Doom.
this week.
Doom Eternal Ancient Gods is a standalone DLC.
Yeah.
Which means you do not need to own
Don't
or
need it.
have played
Don't need it.
the base game. You can buy this all on its own, which is actually a really cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And we actually just watched the trailer in the pre-show.
yeah, before we started this.
And
yeah.
Doom
And did
is an amazing.
Yeah, did you
I
see
mean,
it?
it's an
Did you see the
amazing game.
video, guys, this week of a PC build, and they played Doom at 1,000 frames per second? It was beefy.
Yeah, well, because I was going to say, you're probably watching on a YouTube compressed 30 frames.
Well, it's more. They're
stream.
more like showing off the PC.
Oh, gotcha.
It's beefy though. Super cool.
It's really beefy.
It is.
So.
Wasteland 3.
Oh,
just dropped.
Yeah, another big one. Wasteland 3 is now available for Xbox One. Now, this is exciting because it's on Game Pass.
Oh,
and
Game
if you have
Pass
Game
Ultimate.
Pass Ultimate, you can install it on your PC. You can install it on your Xbox. You can install it wherever you're at,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. Which, again, I'm going to say this. Game Pass is literally the best value in gaming, hands down. Not even a question. If you disagree, you're wrong. That's just how it is.
Disagree, you're wrong.
That's just how it is. It's the best value in game. It's really good. I'm really excited to play this game. I have it installed. It's on my favorites tab, and I'm playing it all weekend long.
Boom.
It actually worked out that we're doing the podcast earlier because now I can go home and play this game.
Stay tuned.
Us very excited for this game to play. Now being honest with you guys, I've never played a Wasteland game before. I know
It's in exile.
Yeah, I know it's an X, and weren't they the original developers of Fallout as
which
well?
was
So I know where
top-down
which
RPG.
was originally this style, right? Until Bethesda took over and then made it into what it is today, which is not bad.
No.
But very excited for this. If you haven't seen it, go watch the launch trailer. It's really cool. I'm excited to play.
Madden is
I'm excited
now
to play.
available as well, everybody.
Yep.
Welcome to the Maddenverse. If you are into Madden 21, if you're into any of the Maddens, but
It's
if
Madden
you're into
season.
Madden 21, we do have a league that is happening. Dark Knight in Discord. Just message him. He's a member of the community that runs our league and does a fantastic job. Go ahead, come join us, XoneBros.com/Discord. I think there are still slots open, although if you just message Dark Knight or just head to the Madden channel that we have there, he'll be able to let you know. But I'm very excited. I got top 10% in online last year. I'm looking to go top 5% this year. What's interesting is once you get into, so like going from 20% to 10%, easy peasy. Once you hit that 10%, it really does match you up against
The top 10.
legitimate players, and it's so much harder to get to that 5. So my goal is 5% this year.
Madden season. It's back.
We'll see. The problem is when you're going for that, like ladder matches, you have to play all the time. Like you have to play daily at least, you know?
Sure.
Like
Do they have
most-
like a decaying system where if you don't play, then your MMR drops essentially?
Yeah, so I didn't play.
At a certain level, right?
Yeah,
And
I
so,
didn't play, and I was put back into the 20%.
Sure. Okay, so they do have a decay
Yeah.
system. Okay.
So they get you to play their game.
I do hope they're
Smart.
What I would like to see from
That's how a
Madden,
lot of people
because
do it.
Madden is crushing it and bringing in tons of money, and their like grand prize for their tournaments, their legit tournaments, is like $50,000. I feel like in a League of Legends day where we're getting in the millions, I don't think Madden should be in the millions necessarily, but $50,000. I mean, after taxes, that's like $20,000. Like,
It's true.
which I would take. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's a game that would garnish a lot more attention with a larger prize pool.
I'm surprised it hasn't yet.
Yeah, it surprises me as well. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if that's just EA
Sorry,
making that
buddy.
decision, but I think it
Because
needs a larger
it's really
prize pool.
big here in America, and then from what I understand too, it's actually really big in Europe too.
Yeah, it's starting to
it's
get
a
big
very
everywhere, yeah.
it's a really big game. I mean,
Well, there you go.
Anyway,
One of
very
the
cool.
biggest trailers that a lot of people were hyped for, or biggest announcements, was Project Cars.
yeah, Project Cars 3 is now available now. Now available now.
Now available
wow.
now.
It's
now
like really you can go get it
available now.
right now. It's
Now
out. And
available
Project Cars.
now.
I actually played. I haven't. Did I play Project Cars 2 or did we just play the first one?
I think we played the first one.
Which is really fun. It's basically like it's another. It's Forza-esque. It's a simulator style car game, but nothing wrong with that.
Well, and I do think actually if Forza stumbles, Project Cars would be the game to take over.
Sure,
This is
yeah.
a very hardcore following. It's very much if you're into cars, breaking them down, maximizing them, adding features.
the
and
flight
components
simulator
to
of
it.
cars.
It is, and I think this would be the game that would take it down. I actually don't think it would be a Gran Turismo. I think it would be a Project Cars type of game that is on all systems as well.
Yeah.
So it does look cool, and I know we have a lot of Project Cars fans in the community.
No,
so
very cool. The trailer got me all excited. I
Got
want
me
to.
all-
I feel like I just need a good racing game
got
in
me
my
all
life.
hot and bothered,
I want a good racing game.
dude. Yeah, I'm really excited
I
for
agree.
the Forza on
Yeah,
the Series
yeah.
X. Ronan, to go back to our prize pool in Madden, Ronan says that the Call of Duty that's playing this weekend is for $4 million between the top 4 teams. See that?
Yeah.
Granted, Call of Duty is
Probably
probably
a little bit bigger, right?
yeah, a lot bigger. But still,
Madden's not small.
Still,
you know,
I think if you had $100,000 prize pool, that's better because if you're just winning, if you win the $50,000 prize pool, right? That doesn't support you for a year to play because at that league at a profession, you have to be doing it full time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be practicing daily. You've got to be doing it full time. You need money enough to get that. But you get to guest appear on the NFL Network. I guess.
It's
yeah,
worth it.
That's what it is.
Worth
right?
it.
Yeah. Anyways, we did have some big Gamescom games that came out
Yeah,
this
that
week. One of the
was,
biggest ones I think that Fitzy actually just mentioned in chat here, the Age of Empires 3 remastered.
I'm so excited for that one. I still have the original Age of Empires 3 case in my excuse me, in my
Yeah, I think.
thing.
It's like you're making a point.
I actually think I have Age of Empires 3 installed right now on my computer.
Yeah,
I'm
I do.
excited. Yeah.
I definitely do.
I think this is one of the coolest things about Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate is that we get access to these traditional PC games that we can now play. I mean, we all jumped into Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition and just had a blast with it. These games are so good. This is this is kind of at the height of the real-time strategy genre when all these games
golden
were
era.
the golden era of it, and seeing it remastered and being able to play it and it being on Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate is so good, and I'm so excited for this.
Now I am excited for the Definitive Edition 3 remaster, right? But I want number 4.
Yeah.
You know,
Right? Yeah, sure.
I'm waiting for number 4.
Me too. Agreed.
But you do get to play as the Swedes, the Sweds.
The Sweaties.
The sweaties, as we like to call them. The sweaties.
And that does it for the news, everybody. Thank you very much. Let's take that to our next segment of the show. This is the segment where we take your questions. To submit a question, you can do so each and every single week over on YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros. Hit that community tab. As long as you are a member, you will get access to submit a question there. First question of the day comes from the one and only Nerdluck. Nerdluck writes in and says, Bros, the world is ending, and you have the choice to place your consciousness in the world of a single video game. Which game are you and your families, if you choose to bring them along, living out the rest of eternity in, and why?
Cyberpunk, because I feel like it's in the lore. Like it,
Yeah,
it
you
already
just
is.
fit in.
You're there. You know.
Yeah, because if you go into a game like a Red Dead,
And you know
your
that-
consciousness...
And you know that.
So
world.
by consciousness, are you a character in the game? I would imagine that you become a character in the game. Correct?
Maybe it's like the Matrix, where you're a program.
You're a program.
See,
you know?
in Cyberpunk,
Agent
it all
Smith.
just makes sense because it can be your
Cyberpunk, you can do
consciousness, and
whatever.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
It all makes sense, and you know that's going to be a crazy world.
Do you want a crazy world for the rest of your life?
Oh,
or do
yeah.
you want something nice?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Maybe like The Sims Star Wars.
Or Stardew Valley.
Star Wars, or Stardew Valley. Yeah.
Stardew Valley, where you're just working on
We're
a
just a
farm. all day.
farmer.
Stardew. That's mine. That's my answer. Stardew Valley.
Your consciousness, just doing chores every day.
Yeah. The greatest part about Stardew Valley is you have you can just dump all your stuff and have it automatically be sold. You know that
Yeah.
little compartment you go and dump it all in?
Sell.
Somebody on the back end selling all that for you. You don't. It's literally step 1, get stuff. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profit.
Yeah.
That's the step 2 right there.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing would be a good
Animal
one.
Crossing would be another good one.
Another game of chores.
I think I go into something a little chill. I want to chill for the rest of my life. I go into Bassmaster fishing. That's my consciousness.
That's a good one.
Cabela's hunting.
Yeah, Cabela's
Oh,
something
Bassmaster
very
fishing.
chill.
Fishing is awesome.
Or Flight Simulator, even. You fly around the world
Yeah.
for the rest of your life.
It's
Get to
literally
reminisce.
the only sport where you can eat potato chips and sit there and say, "Yeah, I'm an athlete."
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like while I love certain games like Halo or Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft, it's a little bit too crazy for me to be in for eternity. I think I'm going to a very chill game and something with a big world that you can just explore. Or I
Flight
don't know.
sim.
Flight Simulator, I think might be actually, that I'm thinking about it, be a really cool game that you just constantly explore this giant place and get to know every
Wouldn't that
cranny.
technically just be the real world? Just a pilot?
Just as a pilot,
Because you
you're
could just
stuck
land
in
at an
a plane.
airport.
Pilot with no hands.
But the thing
You
is,
could always do
because you could just land at the airport and go to your house.
You could always do like an elite.
Technically, it's in the game.
Yeah, you could always do like an Elite Dangerous as well and just fly around the galaxy for forever. Be a consciousness of galaxy. But I don't think I want a hectic place for eternity.
I want Cyberpunk because I will build my own life. Yeah.
Great question. Thank you very much.
Can I be honest about Flight Simulator? It is.
ahead.
I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm a terrible pilot.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody I said that.
Okay.
I actually am really good, but I'm really not.
Okay.
It's made me have a fear of flying now because I'm so bad at it.
Well, I think because you realize because what sticks out to me is if you jerk those controls, one jerk and you could
That's the
send
thing.
that plane
I never
spinning.
up to this point. I was just putting my trust into some person that I've never met before, and I just thought that it was just like driving a car.
Yeah.
It's not. It's extremely complicated, and there's a lot of variables that. I mean, flying in the air is one thing, but landing.
Have you flown the big boy planes yet?
If it makes you feel any better in real life, I think you're more so trusting a computer. I don't think those pilots actually. I mean, I think the pilots in the big planes.
See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought before. But that nav system is confusing and complicated in the big boy planes.
No, I know, but I mean, once they put it all in I think it's the computer that does everything. They're just there in case something goes wrong.
I get that, but it's if they just dial one thing wrong,
they
I'm a dead man.
Mess up on their math.
Yeah.
Because Because I've been flying and I've pressed autopilot on, and it just like goes straight to the ground. And I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to press something.
That's
well, it makes me never want to be in a real life little plane, because just as you're flying like the little
planes,
dusters,
they're flying.
The wind hits you, and you're like, whoa, and you could easily crash that.
I just never realized how much I was putting my life into someone else's hands. I knew I was doing it before.
Yeah,
but and they're probably very professional and very good, but it just scares me.
See, that's why David was upset with that incredibly attractive pilot that we had at E3.
Because
if someone's gonna mess up their math, it's gonna be at that point.
It's true. It is true. Next, great question, Nerd Luck. Thank you very much for writing in. ZCapitan writes in and says, given that Series X is moving towards high-end PC scale, do you think adoption of mouse and keyboard will increase? He says, I'm looking at the scarcity of PC components and some markups. Some PC gamers might just get the Series X. Quick answer from me, yes. I do think we're going to see an increase of mouse and keyboard support and PC component support. I think we're going to see increase of stuff like joystick support as well, and just all these peripherals, plug and play type of things that go into it.
No, I think you'll see an increase of keyboard and mouse, but I actually honestly think the increase, this is just my thoughts, right? I think the increase is actually going the opposite way. I think a lot more computer players are starting to use controllers now.
Yeah.
Because it's all cross-platform. It's all done by input. Like, you can play on the computer and still use a controller, and you're matched up with, you know what I mean? Like, I actually...
Matched up with other controllers.
Yeah, I actually feel like a lot more people are starting to adopt the controller as opposed to the amount of people that are adopting the mouse and keyboard. I still think there are people obviously adopting the mouse and keyboard. I just think there's more people shifting over to controller.
Yeah, especially how easy it is to plug and play now.
Because I watch a lot of people play Call of Duty, and a lot of them are playing from the PC, and there are some that are still using mouse and keyboard. Honestly, it's just whatever you're comfortable with, right? A lot of people are still using mouse and keyboard, but there's a lot of people that I'm watching playing, they're using the controller on the PC, right? You know, it's just, it's interesting.
Great question, Zeke.
Well, don't you play Tarkov with a controller?
I did, yeah. I figured out how to play Tarkov with a controller, and I feel
Did it
like
improve your experience or no?
Because I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable on the mouse and keyboard, but I'm really comfortable on a controller. So I was going in more, I was being more aggressive, which in turn I think helped. But yeah, no, I do. I actually play on both now. But if I forget to load up the program before I load Tarkov, I'm like, I'll just play on the mouse and keyboard. But it's
you're bilingual.
Yeah, I'm bilingual now. No, but I have figured out how to play Tarkov on a controller. And guess what? It's possible.
It is possible, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I will say that Tarkov can now, if Battlestate Games is listening, I will come work for you and tell you how to map it. But it can now be on the console.
It's complicated, but possible. There's a lot of modifier keys.
But it works.
Great question, Z Capitan. Thank you very much for writing in. Sticks Remix writes in and says, hey, bros, hypothetical scenario. Microsoft can't lower the price of the Series X, but they can bundle the console with something extra. Maybe another controller, a headset, so many months of Game Pass, a free game or two, etc. What do you think would be the best thing to add to the console?
I know what you bundle it
to
with.
give it the most appeal. Go ahead.
You bundle it with Flight Simulator and the Thrustmaster.
Oh,
yeah.
And you call it like the Xbox Series X Thrust Bundle.
Thrust Bundle.
The Thrustimator.
The Thrustimation.
Because let's be honest, Flight Simulator is already going to be on Game Pass, so they're not losing much there. Yeah, they'll take an $80 hit. Yeah, I'd bundle it in with a Thrustmaster.
Yeah, I don't think I think coming with Game Pass, like a year's worth of Game Pass, is a good appeal. I don't think it's enough of appeal if the price is high enough. I do think you've got to have
especially because
a marquee game and a controller.
Yeah, and especially because you can still get Game Pass for $1. That thing is still going on.
Yeah, that's true.
That's really true.
Great question. Sticks Remix. Sorry. Thank you very much for writing in. Travis Walker writes in and says, hi, bros. Hope all is well in the U.S. Our isolation is paying off. COVID is a memory here in Western Australia. Very cool. 0 community cases in over 4 months. Congratulations, my man. Before Game Pass, delays to new games would have annoyed me. I wouldn't have given games like Yakuza or Hotline Miami a second look. He says, now I'm playing a wide variety of games and enjoy a little of a palate cleanser between the big AAA launches. I'm wondering if Game Pass has altered your preferences at all. Very good question. Thank you very much, Travis Walker. That's a good question. That is interesting. Has it altered your preferences? I will say there's a lot to play. Like, for instance, Wastelanders, I don't know if I hadn't played this game before, if it wasn't on Game Pass, that I would jump in to experience it, because there's just so many other things grabbing for my attention right now. However, because it's there, I will jump in, check it out. If it grabs me, I'll stay. If it doesn't, I won't. That's kind of... I'm more willing to try games, I think, that are on Game Pass, because there's no risk for me there. Mm-hmm. Jordan, well, let's go with Spicy. Spicy, thoughts? Has Game Pass changed your...
I don't know if it's altered my... I know that, well, maybe this is the same thing. It's opened my perspective on trying out new... It's opened me to many more games than I would have otherwise experienced. So, and I really... Game Pass is legit. It's awesome. It's not... Remember how Netflix just had crappy shows and crappy movies the first 3 years?
Yeah.
Except the DVDs that you could get, but like the streaming service was just bad.
Yeah.
And it
took a while. It took a few years to take off.
It was like old boy bands with just camcorders, basically. Basically, that's what it was. And then then they started getting they started filling their groove, getting the good stuff, and now it's a much better service. I feel as though Game Pass Arcade was originally that, and now Game Pass is the mature Netflix in a way.
I see, yeah.
There's a lot of good games on there. A lot of excellent games. And games that
games.
And like the Microsoft titles that come out are just automatically on there. And those are good. Those are excellent games. It's fantastic. So I'm just saying, basically, to answer the question, I guess it has, because I'm playing other games that I otherwise would never have played before. So
yeah, in fact, to your point on the quality of games that are there, over on Metacritic, if you go games and you go Xbox One, in fact, if you just go games overall, if we go back to all platforms, you can look at the top rated games of all time on all consoles, right? And Game Pass had 7 of the top 10 on it over this last summer. So
awesome.
It's big. I mean, think about Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption. I mean, it's big boy name games that are there that Microsoft is doing a good job of going after and putting them on there, even if it's just for a limited time. That limited time gives you an opportunity to play a game that's top tier, that you don't have to pay anything extra for, and they're doing a good job with it. So
yeah, agreed.
Great question, Travis. Thank you very much for writing in. Teddy Bear writes in and says, "Let's talk about Game Pass." Ooh, another Game Pass question. All right. Does Game Pass allow for a big loss on the sale or Series X, or make for a great bundle? Like Series X is $600 plus 24 months of Game Pass. I think we talked about that a little bit in a previous question as far as bundling it. I think it's a good bundle, but I think if it's $600, for instance, we don't know what the price of the Series X is, but I think at $600, I do think you need a game / peripheral. I think Jordan's correct on that. That would be a great value. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Game Pass, because people aren't going to buy the console for Game Pass, right? They're going to just buy Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate.
And at this point, Game Pass is not ray traced 4K 120 frame games.
Exactly.
So
yeah. However,
I think it's important to get them to try it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to taste that drug.
Yeah.
To keep buying it, right?
But I don't think people are going to try it at a $600 price point bundled with the Series X necessarily. I think it's going to be something else, and I do think Flight Simulator could be a console seller.
I think so too. If you can get so that PC, I've been streaming. I've streamed Flight Simulator on it at Ultra. Like my gaming PC streams it at Ultra settings all the way across the board. And if you can, but that computer's really expensive.
Yeah.
If you can get Ultra settings in a console for that game, it's totally a console seller.
Yeah.
It's an amazingly good-looking game. Mm-hmm. And if you can get the same settings on a box that is worth, $600 versus $4,000, instead of a PC build that will run it at Ultra, then you got it. Yeah, that's a console seller.
Agreed. Great question, Teddy Bear. Thank you very much for writing in. Mr. Laughrun writes in, Jeremy Laughrun. He says, how come no one is talking about Paper Mario? He says, I know it's an Xbox podcast, but that game is great. I mean, all the Mario games tend to be pretty good. There you go.
Is he talking about the new Paper Mario?
Paper Mario, yeah.
It's good.
It's good. Have you played it?
I actually haven't played it yet. I didn't, to be honest with you, I actually let my sister-in-law borrow my Switch because she says, hey, I'm thinking about buying a Switch. Can I borrow yours for a couple days to see if I like it? and I haven't gotten it back.
Maybe she.
How
broke.
long has a couple days been?
I think like a week and a half. Now.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she broke it.
She's actually she messaged me like 2 nights later, and she was like, "Do you know how good it feels to play a real Pokemon game?" I know. It feels good. Don't mess up my game save.
Thanks for writing. Thanks for writing in, Jeremy.
She deletes it all.
Good question.
Factory formatted.
Joel Reed writes in and has a good question about Microsoft Flight Simulator. He says, "Would you want/support a quote-unquote Horizon version of Microsoft Flight Simulator? Forza does motorsports as the more sim-centric racer, while Horizon is the more arcade-centric racer. They share a lot but generate different gameplay." He said, "I would love a worldwide Horizon air show game with crazy challenges, fun builds, and great customizations on a hangar full of planes. Something like air races through the Grand Canyon one day and stunt flying 747s over the Sahara the next." Joel Reed, I think that's a really cool concept. I don't know that we're ever going to see a separate game because of mods.
The thing is, as well, he said air races through the Grand Canyon and doing stunt flying in 747s. I don't know. But like we actually did air race through the Grand Canyon. You know what I mean? I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is set up in a way where you can do that kind of stuff because you can set it to like a full. Well, it's not like full arcade, but like you can set it to a more arcadey mode.
You just put it all on easy.
Yeah.
And then you can just run into the ground.
And mods, I think, are going to bring this type of stuff.
And
however,
there are actually a couple mods that we were looking at the other day.
If the question is if they came out with a second version of the game that is like a Horizon, would you support it?
Like Microsoft Flight Horizon?
Yeah, I would absolutely. I think that would be
the Blue Angels.
Actually, that
awesome.
would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Because what makes a game like that different than like this flight sim is you would have challenges.
Yeah.
You would be going through
competitions.
It'd be pilot wings.
Yeah,
it would be pilot wings.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Yes.
I think you could. I don't know if they would though, because
No, I
that's
don't
not
think
their
they- I
that's
don't
not
think they
their
would.
thing, right?
But it would be cool. I do think it would be cool.
Yeah, let's mod it.
That's a cool concept. Maybe Joel Reed is a millionaire and can
mod it. Yeah,
can
just
do
hire
it.
someone to mod it for him.
Do it and create it. Do it. If you can't, do it. Psychotic writes in and says, "What is going on, bros? My middle daughter is getting into PC gaming and is looking to play a shooter game with me. I suggested Warframe so her and I can cross-play, but she thinks she is ready for Call of Duty, and as Spicy can confirm, that audience tends to be a harsh and toxic, especially to beginners. Is there another game I should suggest? She hates Fortnite. Thanks for all you do. First-person shooter for his daughter who's getting into shooters."
So, first and foremost, to remove a lot of that toxicity, just go ahead and slam the gate and cinch up the online chat.
Don't let those Visigoths in.
Make it so she can only talk to friends. It's a simple setting in the settings. And you can actually make it so they can't talk to anybody. I think friends is okay as long as make it so you are the only one that can add friends, and then make it so she can only talk to friends on her friends list.
Yeah.
And that will remove a lot of the toxicity. So I think it may be okay to play Call of Duty. I don't know how old she is or anything, but that is the toxicity. It's not the game; it's the community.
That's one way to make it.
Make it okay. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted, but first and foremost, I think that's important to protect your kids is to just remove those terrible 14-year-olds.
Do they have those settings on the PC though?
Yeah, it's Xbox.
On the PC.
Yeah, it's
Call of Duty's not.
because it's Xbox. You can it's Xbox Live that she's playing through, right? So
No, it's Call of Duty on the PC.
Not on the PC,
on the
though,
P-
yeah.
oh, is that the question?
So through their launcher.
Yeah, so you'd go through the BattleNet launcher.
Oh, she's
Because she's
getting into
PC gaming.
I'm
No,
sure-
he would play from his Xbox, right?
You would do that in the settings. Just disable audio.
Yeah. It's probably not as extensive, but
Just put her on a. Just put her on a.
Just don't buy her a mic.
I've never had to do this. So
Yeah.
on the PC. So
Yeah.
no.
I'm sure there is.
should be a way to
Within
just
the game, yeah.
I'm sure there's a way to disable the community chat.
Jordan, did you have a game suggestion?
I was gonna say you could do a game like I don't know if this one's crossplay though. You can do like the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
We were playing Halo 3 multiplayer a week or so ago, and that's just solid multiplayer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know you can mute people in that game.
Yeah.
So although, yeah.
Does she like Gears? Wait, PC.
No, that's on PC as well.
Yeah.
Gears of War, yeah.
So she could try Gears.
And you could play the campaign together.
Yeah, the problem isn't any of the games. If she's old enough to, understand that these are fake, pixel bullets. Yeah. It's not the game in any of this. It's the party chat. So if you just disable that, only allow friends, then if at all. I mean, just disable that. I mean, I even personally, I turn off when I'm in Heroes of the Storm or any game on a PC world where the community is pretty toxic. The game is way more fun just not being in party chat.
Yeah.
Because even if you're doing, people just don't understand. And some people just want to watch the world burn.
It's true.
They're just having a tough life and they just want to take it out on someone else. And the anonymity. Wow, that's not a word.
Anonymity.
Whatever.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That makes it a lot easier to just hurt someone else's heart.
Yeah.
So
I do think Warframe is a good option, especially since Destiny's not there yet. But if Destiny were to
Destiny's
ever go,
there.
Cross play?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
PC?
Yeah.
I know it's cross save.
Oh, you're right.
It's not
Sorry.
cross play.
I
there's
apologize.
also Halo Master Chief Collection's now on PC. So.
Yeah, that's what Jordan was
That's
saying.
what I was saying. I don't know
Halo.
if that one's cross play though. I wonder. But it's still fun. I don't know if it's cross play. You're right though. Destiny's just cross save.
Because Destiny would be a really good one.
Yeah,
I think,
cross save
for that. But again,
Warzone.
when the Series X comes out,
Warzone's cross-play.
You can get. Well, I guess she's just getting into PC gaming though. Get her into real-time strategy games. That's what I would do. Age of Empires Definitive Edition is out. You've
MMOs.
Is she specifically saying shooters though?
Yeah.
And is looking to play a shooter game with me, right? So, Overwatch, just
not
turn
cross
off.
play.
Yeah, that's
You know
right.
what?
Well, I
Just
mean, the thing
rip
is,
off
I guess, do we?
I got a plan. Just rip off the toxic Band-Aid and jump head first into League of Legends.
Teach her that life is hard.
Just do it. Just do it. Go to one of the most toxic places for new players.
Yeah.
League
Dota.
of Legends
I
or
think Dota.
Dota.
And then enable the party chat that they have on there.
Chat on screen.
It's like when you catch your kids smoking and then you sit there and smoke all like 20
Just
packs.
rip that Band-Aid off.
I think Dota was one of the first games that actually added an in-game chat to a MOBA. And I remember me and one of my friends were like, "That is a stupid idea.
Oh, yeah.
That is a dumb
Because
idea." Like,
I remember
you know what? Chat is terrible enough. Like just typing.
I had a buddy that I was working with when League of Legends was newer. It was like maybe out for a year, and he was so into it. And I was like, all right, I'll get into this as well. And I think I was living with Jordan at the time. And I jump in and get into it, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to learn this one player. And I'm doing a decent job. I'm not doing a bad job. I'm doing my task, and I'm getting ripped up and down like nobody's business. It's like, guys, this is just for fun, right? Like, I'm not in a ranked mode or anything. What is going on? But no, they are ruthless.
Yeah, it can get intense.
School of Hard Knocks,
Which is amazing that game manages. I think because it's via text, so it's like, well, whatever. But if it was voice, it would be a lot more.
What you could
jarring.
do though for crossplay, I think Warzone would be a good one, or call it Warzone because it's free, right? So you don't have to buy it on the PC. But what you could do is Warzone, and then you can party chat with her via Xbox because PC has the Xbox app, and then you don't have to worry about other people. Now it's when she plays by herself.
Another
right?
one is you could jump into Apex when it's not dropped yet, but Apex crossplay is coming.
Eventually coming.
Yeah, so that would be another good one.
That would be a great one.
Apex is fantastic.
And then the
Shooting.
toxicity is from the character themselves.
Yeah,
it's
because
from
I
Mirage.
feel like more.
And those are funny comments.
Yeah, or they just repeatedly ping stuff.
Cooper in chat says Hyperscape
like,
might be
shut
good.
up.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Hyperscape, yes. Crossplay will be coming to Hyperscape soon. Yeah.
So Hyperscape might be a good one to check out. Maybe any of those types of battle royales might be pretty interesting to look into. Great question. Thank you very much, Psychotic, for writing in. Last but not least, Ghost Star writes in. And he says, hey, bros, so because the start of the next generation Xbox isn't looking too certain with Halo being delayed and no other big release games apart from third parties, I am now thinking about waiting on the Series X and instead picking up a Series S to start with. And then if more games come out that utilize the Series X, then either trade up or get an additional Series X later down the road. Think more people may go down this road now. It's a pro to Microsoft giving options this time around. I may even get a Series S and the PS5 so I can just enjoy all the games without breaking the bank too much. Mm-hmm. Thanks for all the laughs and good times. As always, love from the UK. Thank you very much, Ghost Star. Do we think a lot of people will opt into the cheaper next-gen console at this point at least?
I think right now, yes.
Yeah.
But then when it launches, no.
Like the hype, and it's going to be keeping up with the Joneses, right?
Right now, it's just all critical. It's all, Microsoft did this. Oh, PlayStation.
Well,
did
and it's
this.
not real yet.
Yeah,
either.
and it's gonna suck. It's gonna be this, and there's all this discussion on, the trailers are terrible, or this is. I'm excited. I'm not excited. It's all. This is like the foreplay of the whole thing. But once it comes down to launch night, people are gonna buy it.
Oh, I want that.
They're gonna see. Oh, yes, I want it.
Yes, I got it done. Purchase. Where can I pick one up?
Yeah, I'll bet you that's how it goes.
Yeah, probably.
That's how it's gone every time something cool is released.
I do think Ghost Star, though, you're right that I think not having a major launch title now, if they're somehow able to get Flight Simulator, I do think that's a console seller again.
Flight Sim would be perfect.
But since there isn't that one, I do think a lot of people are going to wait, and I do think that they probably are, like Spicy said, going to hold off and do that Series S. Mm-hmm. Especially, I think load times are going to be the big upsell at first, right?
Yeah.
So it's like going from DSL to fiber.
But I do agree with him. It's a pro that Microsoft is giving options.
It is, absolutely.
Having a Series S, and it's basically like the 1S and the X, right? Your 1S is for your casual gamer. Your 1X is for your hardcore.
Agreed. Hardcore. You're not hardcore.
Or your Series X.
Unless you live hardcore.
Is it called the 1X?
No, that's what I was saying. What they did with the 1S and the
did with
1X, right? It's the same thing, right? But
yeah, exactly. Well, guys, that actually does us for this week. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for tuning in again. We've only got a couple days left in the Hellblade Gamer Club Game of the Month. If you've not yet, it's 5 to 8 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Jump in, play it, experience it. You will not regret it. I promise you that.
No.
I guarantee it.
Wear headphones.
Wear headphones. If you haven't yet, come subscribe to us over on YouTube. YouTube is where we're at now. Come join us. It's a great way to support the show. Become a member. There are benefits with that membership over on YouTube. We are creating more content, additional content. It's a good time, and we appreciate everybody who has chosen to support us thus far. Mm-hmm. Come and do it. Come join us. And that's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to push that button. Huh?
I thought you did. That's why I was like started.
Yeah,
I saw you like reach over to it.
Well, no, I was doing the epic stretch.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Sorry.
A big stretch.
I'm so sorry. You got another 20 seconds to fill.
If you haven't yet as well, please go rate, review, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. We're almost to 500 reviews there, so exciting times. Leave us a 5-star review. Tell the world why you love us. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.